what other key influences was there for John during the time when World War II was happening and afterwards that sparked his attachment theory? Besides World War II and the mass evacuations and the orphanage of children, what else was going on? So I've got some key influences out there, and I'm going to touch just a little bit on all of them. Ethology, so the study of animal behavior. So at the time, John was influenced by an ethologist named Conrad Lorenz, who demonstrated imprinting in animals. So shortly after birth, ducklings imprinted on their mothers, which then led the line for John to assume that attachment was biologically hardwired. And if you think about it, when we carry our babies, that's a very intimate thing that we're doing. We are carrying and we are giving our lifeblood to this child, our energy, our food sources. They hear our voice, they know like our rhythms, and why wouldn't that be hardwired, right? To be carried by somebody and then brought into this world by somebody and not have an attachment to that person, to know that voice, to know the soothingness of it. So I think, of course, there's some real truth in that, and sometimes I understand that can't always happen, right? We for whatever reason, life happens, circumstances happen, and sometimes the mother is not there or the father is not there, because children will hear their voices, and somebody else raises them, which is totally fine as long as they have that secure, safe attachment. That's really important. So another thing that influenced John was psychoanalytic theory, which is Sigmund Freud. And I always joke about Sigmund Freud. I actually really do like his theories, and I really like him as a psychologist. And I joke around because, Freud did coke, I say, and locked his daughter in a cage, but hey, he gave a psychoanalyst, which is a really important theory in psychology. And it emphasizes the critical role of early childhood experiences in shaping personality and relationships. Now, John diverged from traditional psychoanalysis by focusing on real-life experiences rather than subconscious fantasies, because we do know Freud had some of those fantasies in there when it came to boys and their moms and moms and their girls, somewhat of a Shakespearean theory, it seems like. But these do interact. Our subconscious plays a huge role in our behaviors, whether we know that or not. And as adults, if we don't go back and reconcile our past, doesn't mean we have to focus on it constantly and focus on all the trauma if there was trauma. But if we don't reconcile that and understand the ways that makes us behave today in our relationships and in our interactions, we will have a really hard time getting those relationships we want, and I think fulfilling the life that we want. So Freud really did give us a lot, and there's something to really be said about that, along with the attachment part of it, because the reality part is each stage of our life as a child, even as teens, we need to feel safe and secure by our parents. We need to feel that no matter what's going on, we can lean on them. They will be there for us. We can emotionally express what we need to express. And if we don't do it in a healthy manner, they will be there to help us in a not negative way. And so that's really important throughout our whole entire life, I think. So then the other theory was cognitive and development psychology. And John's understanding of how children perceive and respond to the presence or absence of a caregiver, which of course is attachment theory, right? If you have a secure attachment, then of course you're going to have some stranger danger. Every, toddler goes through that, but you will be secure, and they will come back to you, barring any accident that happens, right? Like, you're going to be okay in the end, and you have a safe spot. And so these are just three influences that John had on his exploration of attachment theory. Again, all of these psychology theories I think are really great. And what's great about them is they actually, I think, work together, or they can, if and when you bring them together, because there is something to be said about childhood and every step in your childhood, and, attachment and our subconscious and our adulthood, and then our reactions, emotional reactions, and our interactions. And it all just kind of is like this web that can get woven together and can take a minute to detangle if you need to detangle it, but it can be a good thing, and sometimes it can be fun. I often like to help people detangle the web of their life to help them get back on track. So my question is, do anybody out there, drop a comment? Do you think you have any attachment issues from your childhood? Let's talk about them. Give a thumbs up. Let's recognize that life is hard and our parents weren't perfect, but we're going to move on and move forward and work on our stuff.